Hey, 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 what's going on? It's your girl, Queen Aishah, and thank you so much for joining me for another episode of I Know Dope People. And of course, today, this episode is going to be just a whole nother dope episode. Before we get started with our guest, my friend Natasha Jackson, I'm going to go over a few Queen's quickies. So I don't know if you all checked out Chris Rock's live Netflix stand-up special, Selective Outrage. It took place in Baltimore, Maryland. It was awesome. I enjoyed it. It was typical Chris Rock, touching on all of the topical current events of today, and I love the way he puts a twist on his delivery and how he can call back on things and all. I really, really, really enjoyed it. It's a lot of chatter about different things, but I enjoyed it. I've always been a huge fan of Chris Rock. Okay, and I don't know also if you checked it out, the movie Creed 3 with Michael B. Jordan and Jonathan Majors came out on March 3rd. I haven't seen it yet. I plan to check it out. And I don't know if y'all know or not, but Michael B. Jordan is from Newark, New Jersey. Since he was like 2 years old, he was born in Santa Ana, California. However, his family moved to Newark, New Jersey, where I'm from, Brick City, when he was 2 years old, and he attended RTI, which is a really, you gotta be real smart and talented to go there. RTI and SciTi, really great schools. So he is actually getting a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. So big up Michael B. Jordan, Newark, New Jersey, Brick City kid. Congratulations. All right, now we're going to move into a celebration. You know, it's Women's History Month. So during Women's History Month, and actually on Wednesday, it was Women's International History Day. So that means worldwide we were celebrating women. But all March, it's Women's History Month. So this week, we're going to shine a light on and honor me. Yes, Queen Aishah. Let me brag on myself. Queen Aishah, born Aishah Farah Hogans on November 29th, 1970 at 4:04 p.m. Okay, be clear, in Newark, New Jersey, two parents, Donald and Geraldine, or Geraldine and Donald, because my mother be getting petty. She started doing comedy in Washington, D.C. in 1995. She produced her first show in February of 2021 in Baltimore, Maryland. It was a Valentine's Day show, and it was an all-female show. In 2012, after months of creating, nurturing, and planning this great vision of a female comedy tour, on Sunday, March 4th of that year, she birthed her first show. Comedian Queen Aishah presents Funny in Stilettos, an all-female diverse comedy tour. The show debuted at the Riot Act in Washington, D.C. with the support of the owner, John X, my boy. The show lineup, of course, Queen Aishah, Freddie Vernell, Shep Kelly, Jessica Brogdon, Sarah Contreras, and DJ Fine provided the musical vibes. They performed to a sold-out crowd. The historic Howard Theater in Washington, D.C. reopened in 2012, and on September 8th, Queen Aishah was the first female comedian to perform there and bring an all-female comedy show along with her. Queen's photo is painted on the theater wall by artist Demont Pender. Follow him on IG. He's really dope. Alongside other great performers who have graced the stage of that theater. The show has performed at several comedy clubs and colleges around the country. Queen Aishah is a strong believer in female empowerment and has hired over 30 females in her productions, including comedians, singers, DJs, makeup artists, photographers, public relations staff, and so on. And believe it or not, y'all, we have volunteers on our team, and the volunteers will call and be like, when your next event? Because I just really believed in just showing everyone love and giving them compassion and showing the comedians, this is what you deserve. This is how you should be treated as a human, not just a female. Because a lot of times, whether y'all know it or not, they try to give us subpar, less than at times, and you're not big names and done all this stuff. So anyway, I just wanted to celebrate myself. I have a platform to do so. And if nobody else does, I did it for me. And that is our Women of the History Month honoring myself. All right. So today, my guest is my good friend Natasha. I actually wore her bracelet. She gave me this bracelet about a year ago. She used to wear this all the time, and I didn't even know she thought I wanted it, but I'm like, yes, I'll take it. So I'm wearing this today. Natasha founded the Facebook group Fibroid Alternative Healing and Support Network. She created the group for women to share their experiences and journey to healing fibroids. Natasha founded the group after being diagnosed with fibroids in 2013. She learned through lifestyle changes, exercise, and whole body wellness to a journey of healing. She is passionate about sharing her gifts and journey to empower people around the world. Natasha Jackson is also a former real estate investor and former natural hair salon owner. As a former natural hair salon owner, her passion for health and natural living grew. She expressed her passion for health through natural styling and natural products. She has been a speaker and vendor at several wellness and hair events. Natasha is a business and health enthusiast. Natasha is from the Washington, D.C. area. She has a BA from Morgan State University and a MA from Bowie State University. Natasha Jackson has over 20 years of experience as an entrepreneur. She is currently the owner of Quality Standards Inspection Services, and she is a certified housing quality standard HQS inspector. Now residing in the Houston, Texas area, please welcome my great friend, sister friend, Natasha Jackson. Hey, Natasha.
Hi.
Hey, beautiful.
Hi.
Hi, thank you for your yes.
Yes.
So here's the thing, me and Natasha, we actually met through a mutual friend because we met at, was it D Chase was having an event at his house. We were in the yard, it was in the summertime, and we just clicked. And that was over 20 years ago, right?
Yes, very much
That
so.
was over 20 years ago, and we just created our own relationship and no drama. We just flow. We have so much fun together. And not only fun, but we really encourage and empower one another. You know, we check on each other, like not just, hey girl, how you doing? Like, no, how you doing for real? Like, let's make time to talk and kick it and catch up and see how we can support one another. And we just have a circle and a village of friends that do that. So it is so good to have you on the show. I reached out to you months ago. I was like, Natasha, I got to have you on the show. And Natasha, what I love about you is that you honor yourself. You take time, you take sabbaticals for yourself, and you do that whether you're doing it in your house through not answering the phone, social media, traveling the world, and you just check in and tune into yourself. And I love that about you. So today, you're welcome. Today, we're going to be discussing fibroids, which other things that you do will come up into play. So share your story about fibroids with us.
So it's interesting, when you're working all the time, you don't really think about yourself. You're so focused in on everything outside of you. And I started noticing that I wasn't feeling myself. Something had changed and shifted. And I was having cramping in between my cycles. And I was thinking there's something not right. So I actually ended up going to a doctor. I was going back and forth between California and Maryland, and a sister, she was amazing. She said to me, she said, I really do think you may have fibroids. And at the time, I wasn't really familiar with it. So she actually set up an appointment, and then we found out I did have fibroids. And that was actually what was causing the cramping. I really didn't have too much of a change in my cycle, but in between cycles. And so I was really happy that someone took the time out to diagnose it, because I feel like so many Black women walk around with a lot of health issues and no one really pays attention. And so to have a woman say, hey, there's an issue, let's try to address it now. So once she told me that I had fibroids, I started on a journey. I said, I want to keep my womb. I don't want to have a hysterectomy. I want to see what I can do. So I started exercising more, changed my diet. I went plant-based. I did a variety of things, and I definitely saw a difference. But, it's a journey, and that was the starting of the journey.
Okay. And also one of the things that you did is that when you started taking up, we all started doing Bikram yoga. Was that what drew you to Bikram yoga to get the sweating and detoxing?
So the interesting thing is, I started doing yoga when I was probably 23. I
Mm-hmm.
was doing yoga, but I wasn't doing Bikram yoga.
Mm-hmm.
So I was doing more of a, traditional yoga. And then I switched over to Bikram because you need to sweat, you need to detox.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
that's what I did.
Okay. Yeah. So what exactly are fibroids?
So they're just non-cancerous growths or tumors.
Mm-hmm.
They're typically, as you know, benign. And unfortunately, because of the food we eat and a variety of things, and even genetics, we
Mm-hmm.
end up having fibroids. And the thing is, I don't think enough people talk about it
Mm-hmm.
because so many women around me all have fibroids.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what it is, and it's common. It's becoming more common. It's not just in Black women. A lot of people think it's just Black women. It's not. Hispanic women, Caucasian women. It's just found and being more prevalent in Black women.
Yeah. So I first of all, like you said, fibroids are common. The first time I found out that I had fibroids, I was like, who living up in me? You know what I'm saying? Because it's kind of like, yo, someone is taking up space or something is taking up space. And you're absolutely right. It's our diet, our lifestyle, definitely the foods that we eat and the things that we don't do enough of, eating correct foods, cleansing, detoxing, and all of those things. I've had the heavy cycles and all of that. And again, this is a topic that a lot of women we don't discuss because we don't know that anyone else has had it. We're embarrassed, but this is where the healing and the helping comes in. Okay.
Yeah, that's one of the things I appreciate about you and my sister circle is that we can talk openly about all of
Mm-hmm.
these things. I don't think enough women
Mm-hmm.
have circles where they can talk about their health and feel safe
Mm-hmm.
or feel
Right.
like you're in a sacred space.
Yes. Yes.
So, it's something we have to discuss more. I never knew so many women had fibroids until I told people I had fibroids.
Mm-hmm.
And it's an ongoing thing. Even now, I still have small fibroids. It's not causing any issues. And like my doctor said, she was like, if you're fine, leave them alone.
Yes. Yes.
So,
Yes.
you know,
Yes.
that's the thing. Even after you have surgery, and that's what I let women know too,
Mm-hmm.
they come back.
Mm-hmm.
So, you have to do what you have to do to maintain your body, and that's your mental health, your physical health, all of that. And I don't think we talk about how a lot of things wrapped around our uterus and womb is from what's going on with us spiritually and what's going on with
Mm.
mentally. So a lot of things manifest in your body when you are having disease, which we
Right.
don't know that's what disease is.
Yes. And for women, because we hold so much in that area is where we hold a lot. So that's where a lot of our disease is created. I know that when I first found out that I had fibroids, my spiritual father, Nana Kwekukar, I told him, and he said to me, this is a man. He said to me, he said, do not allow anybody to cut or take anything out of you. And doctors have said, some of them, they quick to say, even now, it's like the thing they'll say, you can remove them, but if they're not bothering you, don't bother them. They're benign, and then because I'm in that life change,
Yeah.
so I don't have the issue anymore. They're still there, but I don't have the issue with the bleeding and like, for real. It's for real. And then you have women that may not have may not have been checked and only they are not aware that they have fibroids, because fibroids will also make you look pregnant. And
Yeah.
you just think, oh, my stomach, oh, I'm bloated. It can be fibroids, because there are women that have fibroids and they look 5 months pregnant and they're not even aware. There are women that are pregnant and have fibroids, and then that also can affect the pregnancy of the baby or loss of the pregnancy.
It is true. So what happened with me, they stopped growing. That was the beautiful thing. But I had one large one sitting on my bladder. So I ended up getting a laparoscopic myomectomy eventually. About, I want to say it would be like 9 years, maybe longer than that now. But one of the things I always tell people, even afterwards, they came back, but they just didn't come back as large because I've been managing it. And when I say managing it, changing my diet, making sure, I de-stress. That's one reason why I take breaks, things like that. I had a lot of those issues because, of course, I had a heavy life schedule. So now I'm looking back and it's like, I needed to take that time from what we call our day to day
The
to
hustle.
the hustle to heal. And the fibroids really brought some things to my attention, things that I really hadn't paid attention to, like myself.
Right. That's right. And
I
I
wasn't
was,
paying attention to myself.
yes. And then your body responds like, you need to pay attention to me. I need some love. I need some attention. No, for real, for real. Besides sleep and a shower. Like I need some real attention, stillness, meditation. So I was doing some research and it says that between 20 and 70% of women will develop fibroids in their reproductive years. And they're also it says 90, it says, and they're also 99% of the time they are harmless. And you did mention that they're benign. We're going to show some photos of fibroids in the body, how they look, and also when they're removed. And they can be as tiny as a dime and as large as a softball.
Yes.
So women, if you have issues getting pregnant, holding a child, holding a pregnancy, this could be the reason. We are not doctors. We just wanted to share this information, and you can also do your research yourself. Okay, so if you're having heavy cycles, long cycles, bleeding in between cycles, bleeding during or after sex, all of those may be fibroids. So that's something that you definitely want to check out. Now, uterine, they always say uterine fibroids. Is that the only place the fibroids are found in the body?
It can be found inside the uterus and also on the outer. But the thing about it is, like I said, I'm not a doctor.
Right.
I tell women all the time, please get diagnosed, because some women think it's fibroids and they find out they have cysts, fibrosis, and many other things that are not fibroids. It's just, as soon as you see something has changed in your body, you need to seek help. That's the thing. Like, never question what you're feeling. That's the one thing. I'm sorry, excuse me. That's the one thing that Black women tend to ignore, in their body.
Right.
They'll just say, you know what? I have work. I got things to do. I know I'm having cramping. I know that I'm having discomfort. I know that my period is longer or my period is just not the same. And they continue to move past. Yes. So that's one of the things, I'm always encouraging women. As soon as you feel something different, go.
Yeah. And also the thing to pay attention to, because if you're having heavy bleeding, then you're having a lot of blood, you're losing blood. And then that makes you anemic. Then if you get to the point where your blood loss is so much, then you have to start having blood transfusions. And I remember this was, oh my gosh, it was like my cycle had come on. It was like 2002, 3, 4, somewhere around there. I remember where I was living. And my cycle came on. And when your cycle come on, your cycle just come on and you do what you do, clean yourself up, change, all that type of stuff. And I noticed, I was like, this cycle's still on?
Yep.
So what I did was going to First Sundays with Mama Musina and Mama Janice. They put me in contact with Dr. Wu. Dr. Wu is an Asian doctor, Chinese medicine doctor, Washington, D.C. He is still, when I contacted him for a friend, about 4 years ago, he was still in the same place. Let me explain something to you. He put me on that Chinese medicine and I was going to get acupuncture twice a week.
Yes.
And I can't remember how long I did it. When I tell you, I haven't had an issue since. And that was the best meditation. And Dr. Wu was so bomb. I was getting acupuncture and I was like nervous at first. He was so light and gentle, that I didn't feel anything. So there are alternatives to surgery, because a lot of times, the doctors say get surgery to cut them out, but and people, they always talk about they return, especially if you're not changing your lifestyle. So what are all other alternatives that you would say besides acupuncture, Chinese medicine?
So there's a variety of things that I did. So massage. A lot of times people do not understand the massaging helps really move things through your body. Like I was doing lymphatic massages. I also was getting womb massages. Did a few other things too. I went to get yoni steams. I went to what it's called integrative medicine, where the person may be a medical doctor, but they also heal in Eastern medicine. So you're being healed and treated in both. So I did that too. I also started doing yoga regularly. I reduced my sugar and dairy. That was a big thing. Meat intake. For me, I cut out chicken. Chicken was not helping me at all. I felt like I was having a lot of issues eating it, just because there's so many hormones pumped in food. And so I realized that was something I had to change. And I actually started doing a cleanse. Every 2 to 3 months, I do a cleanse. And when I say a cleanse, like fast for a few days,
yes,
I'm sure you guys are familiar with the 10-day green smoothie cleanse. Doing that helped me a lot.
I'm doing it now. I'm on my 6th day.
Yep. So that's what actually is funny. I just started too. So we are aligned.
Yes. I'm on my 6th day, and I can't. The smoothie on the 6th day be the bomb with the banana and the. You like, this is my treat. I made it halfway through. Look.
Yeah, it's so funny because I started for March a cleanse, and that is like detoxing from social media.
Yes.
Doing a variety of things. So
I started that in January. The detox from social media.
So just really. The cleanse right there will help you too, but I've learned a couple ways to integrate what we call Western medicine with Eastern medicine. I feel like Western medicine has its place. That's where you get your diagnosis. But I do think Eastern medicine is a great way heal yourself, So integrative medicine, the yoni steams. I also, the acupuncture, I've done that before. And also I encourage people to really sabbaticals. Sabbaticals. A lot of times your brain and your mind and your heart and your spirit all need a break. We're always thinking and doing, but we don't know how to just be present and just sit with ourselves and being quiet. So that helps a lot. That's great for healing. The whole mindfulness, really great books. There's a book called Mastering Mindfulness. I love that book. Of course, Queen Aishah.
Yes.
Everyone knows Sacred Woman. That right there.
I just put it down. It's right here.
Yeah. I have that. That's another thing. Vegan Soul Kitchen, how to go more plant-based. There's just so many great alternatives. I just don't think that we spend enough time figuring out a way to get back to ourselves. Because we lose ourselves in it, and that causes a lot of issues, not just fibroids, but if you notice, Black women are being diagnosed with high rates of heart disease, ovarian cancer, uterine cancer, fibroid cysts, endometriosis. I mean, we have a list of things that are growing, and we need to take this time and heal, and not heal the way that people are telling you, because your nails looking nice and your hair being fly, that's great. But that is not just the only thing we need.
Yes. And that's really great information. And I'm glad that I'm sure that most of the people that I'm seeing that are watching are females. And we do have some gentlemen here. So thank you all for tuning in. This is a big thing. And you mentioned Queen Aishah. And I'm going to start the Queen of Four Sacred Woman Rites of Passage program. I
Wow.
started on the 24th, and I'm really excited about it because it's 12 weeks, and I knew that I needed to do something to get back to center because we're doing so much and we're giving too much of ourselves that's unnecessary without balance. So my mom introduced me and my sisters to Queen of Four, Heal Thyself,
Yes.
in the 80s. And
Yep.
my mother, she probably wouldn't mind me telling her story, but we can fight if she wants to. Anyway, she was diagnosed with fibroids in the 80s. The doctor told her she had fibroids, and listening to a lot of talk radio and all, and natural ways of living and being, she learned about Queen of Four, and she went to her. And when she went back to the doctor, she didn't have fibroids because she did a fast and cleanse. Fast forward, she has she has several books, right? And my sister Razia just completed the program about 2 months ago, and I'm starting it. And what she added to this program, starting on March 24th, is a 3-day retreat where we're actually retreating with her.
Oh,
how dope is that? And
That's
how dope is it that it's going to be right here in Georgia? So I was like, I am in such alignment. Like, it's going to be like 40 minutes from my house.
Okay.
I'm excited about it because if y'all are not familiar with Queen of Four and just how she changed her life as a teenager. Okay. And then is she in her 70s? Is she 70 now? So, and she's been doing, this is her life work. And everybody, Lauryn Hill, well, I don't know about Lauryn Hill. Erykah Badu, Jada Pinkett Smith, Lauren London, so many people. Angela, that was on CNN. I can't think of her last name. We used to do Roland Martin together. A lot of people have come through and because she gives you, the program teaches so much about yourself, and everything starts with yourself. So just really I'm really preparing myself, y'all. I'm pregnant. You understand what I'm saying? Because I'm just looking for all of that information. And these are things that we need to get back to ourselves. We have to be self-full and really take care of ourselves, especially as women, as nurturers, because naturally it's in our DNA to give, provide, and care for, but we always forget ourselves. So let's get back to ourselves. And that's whatever way you choose to do it, however you choose to do it, we have to honor ourselves, because I know that the majority of the women that we know have fibroids, whether they're aware of it or not, because just because it's not bothering you doesn't mean you don't have them. Right. So, but it's a reason that you have them. And we have the opportunity to take care of ourselves and change that.
We do. I agree with you. Everything you said is powerful. Whatever way you can get back to yourself, do that, and Queen of Four, her book, even if you can't do the actual,
the program. Mm-hmm.
Her book is powerful. Heal Thyself, Sacred Woman. She has some powerful books. African Holistic Health is a great book. There are so many ways to get back to you and get back to your future, whatever way it is. And that's why I even said taking a sabbatical, one of the best places. And I'm big on that. Costa Rica is an amazing place to do so. There's a lot of great places you can go for healing, wherever that is. Find a place that goes with your heart and your spirit, and take your breaks. I feel like we pour into everyone, but that's what women do. We pour into everyone. We don't always get a chance to pour into ourselves. And, as you know, the disease or fibroids or anything will just manifest in the body. And before you know it, you'll have issues. And so I've always said this, I wanted to walk away this earth with my womb, because people will tell you we don't need it. I've heard people say it so many times, you don't need your womb. And I'm like, I do.
She said, I do.
I do.
Because that's we're women. That's a part of us.
People tell you don't need it. And I've heard many of my friends tell me that their doctor was like, you don't need it. You can go ahead and do it, because just FYI, hysterectomies are $1 billion business. So keep that in mind. It's a $1 billion business,
Mm-hmm.
billions of dollars.
And the thing about it is with I know people that have myomectomies, which is like a partial
Yeah.
hysterectomy. Now with the hysterectomy, though, that can like push you down for like six weeks easy.
Yeah.
So just think about your your life. You're limited on what you can do because it's your core. Your womb is in your core, so
Yeah.
that connects your top and your bottom. So it's a lot you cannot do. And 9 times out of 10, I ain't talking about nobody, but 9 times out of 10, 6 weeks you down, you're gonna probably get a little sad and depressed, and you're gonna start eating something you ain't supposed to be eating anyway. Unless, no, for real, unless you're really intentional and you
Yeah.
have people around you that, because you at that time, I believe you would really have to have somebody to care for you.
You do. You do. Trust me. I have had several
Ain't nobody got money for that and time for that.
Yeah. I have several friends who've had hysterectomies. And it was a process of healing. It wasn't 6 weeks, because they talk about the healing when you are having the post surgery, but they're not talking about the healing where your stomach, you have your muscles right here. And let me tell you, it doesn't bounce back that quick. And I think that that's the thing that people don't talk about is what's the healing after the 6 weeks? The surgery healing, but the healing of getting used to not having your womb. What happens when you don't, sex and a variety of other things that people don't talk about after a hysterectomy. And those are things that, I've been blessed that a lot of my friends have been able to share with me their experiences of either having, a partial hysterectomy, myomectomy, and things like that. And, to be honest with you, it was very hard to find a doctor that didn't want to do a hysterectomy on me. And I was young. I was meeting women who were getting hysterectomies or being told they had fibroids and need to get a hysterectomy in their 20s. And I always feel like you don't know what you want to do. You don't know if you want to have a baby or do whatever. I've met so many women who have turned around and had children in their 40s and their 50s. It's a tough decision. You know your body, and that's between you and yourself. But just always get a second opinion. If you're not sure about something, ask. And get Eastern medicine too, because there's a lot of natural remedies that you can use that could really heal you. It's just people don't really talk about things. Even castor oil packs. I rub castor oil every day on my stomach. That helped me a lot. And that's also when you have fibroids, you can be extremely constipated. A lot of women do that. So castor oil is very helpful too. So there's so many natural ways that you can. We got to get back to that.
Yeah, we doing. There's so many information that we have available to us now. It's just a matter of we have so much happening in life, and also we kind of lazy because we have so much in front of us. We're like, I'll do that later. I'll do that later. But just taking the time to really just check in with yourself, even like things of like deep breathing. These types of things when you get up in the morning, just taking some deep breaths before you just jump up and start going. Just take that time for yourself and check in with yourself. Even something as far as gratitude when you wake up in the morning. Oh, I'm so grateful for this morning. Those little things, you probably just saying that, it shifts the body, the mind, those types of things. Just takes, I'm telling you, some deep breaths will really help you, some fresh air. The weather's getting warmer. I was telling someone, I was like, well, we're going to lose an hour, but we're gaining more daylight and warmth. Temperatures are getting warmer, so I get energized, and I'm like, yo, I can do this, I can do that, because when it's cold, we want to hibernate. But this is the time that we can get outside and get some fresh air. 2.5 years or whatever, we've been locked in with COVID, and we done put on some COVID pounds. So if you didn't have fibroids before then, you probably may have created, ain't put nothing on nobody, but may have created some because of our diet and our lifestyle at that time. So definitely don't feel stressed if the doctor is saying to you, oh, you should have a hysterectomy. Do your research. Check it out. Like Queen Aishah said that she would have, women call her and tell her that she had fibroids and they want to do surgery, and she'll ask them, well, how much time we got? Let's get to work. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of different things. It may just be one thing you may have to take out of your diet, or one person.
I love that. Exactly. Because you know what's so funny?
Out of your life.
Let me tell you, the most beautiful thing I heard a woman say, she said, I lost 165 pounds. She was talking about her man.
Hmm.
She
No, that's real.
literally. So it is correct. You'd be surprised what could be causing a lot of
It
issues
might be
health
your
wise,
job,
your
your
job,
children.
a variety of things.
Yeah.
It
So
could
just
be
those things. It's for real. These are things that we have to be very
yes.
intentional about. And the thing about it is, like, Natasha has a group on Facebook, a support group on Facebook, a network. You can reach out to her. Her information is here as well. You can reach out to Natasha for resources and information. You can look up Queen Aisha's information. You can just go on Google and find so much information. You
It
can
is.
go to a holistic doctor. Now, here's the thing: some insurances allow for you to go to a holistic doctor. You have to check your insurance, but you may have to invest in yourself. You
I
may
agree.
have to invest in yourself. You may have to pay out of pocket. So think about it like this. This is what I do. If you got to invest in yourself, think about all the stuff you've eaten and spending your money on that you really don't need to, and it's not serving you. Think about, if I stop doing this, this may be the richest month of the richest day, the richest time of my life. Take that money and invest it into, like, here in Atlanta, Georgia, and also where Natasha is, we have like spa houses, like where you go and do spas. It's $35. You can go in there and be in there as long as you want. All you do is all of the different steams. They, like, out here, the spots, they got steam. When I tell you the steam be the bomb, and they put eucalyptus, like fresh eucalyptus flower and rosemary in the steam, you can go and do that. They have the hot tubs. If you want the massages and all, you can get that. But for $35, $40, you can go in there and they have a cafe kitchen, whatever. If you
Yeah.
want to get something to eat, you can do that. Or you can bring your own food. You can make it a girl's time. Now, me, I enjoy going. I enjoy going. I enjoy going with my friends, but I enjoy going by myself. And Natasha, when we went for my 50th redo, when we were in Houston, Natasha, and this just came to me. Natasha was with us, but Natasha was doing her own thing. And I just realized that, like, she went, like Natasha said, I may have heard of it before, but never paid attention. You went to the infrared sauna.
Yes.
Like, now I do the infrared sauna. I'm like, Natasha do the infrared sauna. I'm doing the infrared sauna. The
Yeah.
infrared sauna, it heats you up from the inside out. The first time I did it, I came out in 2 hours after. I was still sweating. I was just sitting there in lounge chairs at the spa. And when I tell you, it was the best sweat and the best sleep, your body detoxes. And it's working after you go. You doing
Yeah.
so in DC, all that. I'm telling you, look up the little spa spots
Yeah.
in your area. $35, go in there and get your whole life. And some of them are 24 hours. So if
They
you get
are.
off of work, you can go and do it. You know?
California has a lot of them.
Yes.
So
Mhm.
I always tell people you have a lot of those spas in California, DC. You don't have as many, in certain areas, but you can always look it up because they typically have at least one somewhere near you. And this is what I tell people: if you can buy shoes and you can buy earrings and all the things that you want to buy, food, you can invest in yourself to go to a holistic practitioner. You can invest in yourself to get a massage. And to be honest with you, if you travel internationally, massages are like $15 in many
Yes.
places.
Yes, because I've been massaged in Japan and South Korea
That's what I was saying.
and in Jamaica.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've done it in Mexico, Thailand, Costa Rica. There's a variety of places you can go to where you can get something very affordable, and you can go to a spa. And some of the spas out of the country are like $10. So, keep in mind, whatever you want to invest in, you can invest in. And invest into yourself, that's the most investment.
It's a mindset, because actually I went to California when I went out there to do all the single ladies May of last year, and I knew what I was going to do. I knew that I was going to the spa spot in North Hollywood. Like, when I tell you, they give great massages and they're inexpensive. And let me tell you, when I tell you that woman worked me, I was like, this was the best. I think I paid $60 for, was it an hour? Or I think it was an hour, but it felt like 90 minutes, because she was present.
Yes.
She worked me. I was like, yes. And when I was so mad because I went to one of the spa places here and they charged me $120 for like aromatherapy. And I was so excited to get a massage. I was like, where is the aroma? But it ain't hit me till like, oh, I was like, no, I'm not doing this no more. So I still go to that spot, but I don't get none of their services because y'all fooled me once. That's it. I'm good. So yes, definitely you can get massages. I actually have a massage table at my house. You know what I'm saying? So you can have someone. I gifted Razia and her husband a massage table for, I don't know if it was for their wedding gift or just because or whatever. And I was like, well, you need one. So I have a spot. So I ain't got no license, y'all, but if y'all pay me the right price, I crack your bag. So no.
No way. Well, that's what I was saying. You can do a lot of things at home. I'll be honest with you. I do, I get herbs from LaShawn, and I'm telling you, I do my yoni steams because sometimes I can't get to her or get to Georgia. I still go to her, but it's just you have to do.
Yes, and LaShawn is who does the Natasha. The two women that I've gotten yoni steams from, Natasha introduced me to FEMA in the womb sauna in the DC area, and then LaShawn, who's here in Atlanta. And when the pandemic happened, I started doing them at home. So I literally do my yoni steams home in my house, in my bathroom. And you just set your bathroom up.
Yeah.
Light your candles, your incense, all of these things. And also the other thing is really touching, being intentional of like touching that area, talking to that area, maybe getting some like the rose quartz stone. Yeah. I've been putting just all of these things. We can do these things like Queen Aishah say, heal yourself. You can do it yourself. You just need to be intentional, get the information, and if you need guidance, if you're not sure about something, do some additional research, talk to some people. And you have some doctors, some medical doctors that are knowledgeable and they will share some information with you. You just have to know who you choose and read their bio. Like when I be checking for doctors, I be looking for them like I'm hiring them for my company because this your company.
Oh, you can look it up, but also you can actually look up if they practice both because some do. They practice Western and Eastern medicine. Yes. And in the DC area, I was telling you I was going to integrative medicine. These are medical doctors that also practice Eastern medicine. So there's a lot of information. I just think people spend a lot of time on social media, but you could use social media to learn about all of the natural services that are provided because there are so many, so it's just information. That's why I wanted to do this, is because there's so much information out there and I don't think we have just enough conversation around this. So I'm really grateful that you wanted to even talk about it.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I just think that it's very important for us to be able to have the conversation, to be able to, as you say, have a sacred space, a safe space to go. And I don't know everything, you don't know everything, but I think when we get together and give the information, then somebody knows somebody can lead you to somebody. And that's how the healing and the helping definitely starts. Now, Natasha, you told me a while ago, it's a website you can go to like check the ratings and grades on doctors, physicians.
I think it's called Medical Grades.
Okay.
Grades, if I remember correctly, and you can go and actually look up the ratings.
Okay, would that give them information on
the doctor and like people's experiences, and then also too, you can reach out. There's like Black Business Directory and all these other things to find out if you want to get like a Black female doctor and things like that. I do really search out Black female doctors. Everybody's different, but the preference for me, just because I feel like so many Black women, as you know, our mortality rate and a lot of things that you've heard about, like Black women and birthing, I really do think you have to have a Black gynecologist, as a Black woman, but that's my opinion. I'm not saying that that's for everybody, but I just know that it was a Black woman that diagnosed me with fibroids. And I listened to a lot of my friends tell me that they've been diagnosed with fibroids and they learned about it late, or the instruction was hysterectomy.
Yeah.
The difference was the woman who I was diagnosed with fibroids with, she was quick to say, hey, there's some natural alternatives.
Mm-hmm.
She did not automatically tell me to get a hysterectomy, myomectomy, or anything. She was like, "Hey, do some herbs, look at massages."
Mm-hmm.
Gave me some really
Mm-hmm.
good information, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so, if it wasn't for her, I don't know, you know, like I'm
Mm-hmm.
not sure if I would have even known that I had fibroids because I went to a lot of doctors. And
Yeah, let me tell you.
no one told me I had fibroids.
Isn't that something? And then I think that they may also think as Black women that it's common and okay, well, whatever. And someone may think, well, they have them, it's not bothering them. Like when I went for my annual womanly exam, as they call it now, and we talked about it, and she was just like, and she was a sister, and she was real like, okay. She wasn't trying to sell me nothing. You understand what I'm saying? She was like, just if they ain't bothering you. And the thing about it is, and if you don't know, so if a doctor says that to you, you may kind of feel away. Like they don't care about me, this and that, because so much research has been done on this, and they see that women aren't like dying from the fibroid itself necessarily. So, and it's not cancerous. So they're like, you can just leave it alone. Like it can be in your body and you be okay. Now, if you're having complications, definitely, again, we are not doctors. If you're having complications, then you need to look a little further. If you're having heavy bleeding, you got to take care of yourself. Now, in some cases, it may be where a person may have to have a procedure done. That might be the case, but in most cases, it's not necessary.
And it's true because even the doctor that I went to, she, and I love this, I respect her so much for it. The first thing she said to me, she said, I do not perform hysterectomies for fibroids. She was like, I only perform hysterectomies when it's cancerous. And the reason why she said that is because so many women, that's the first go-to. She was like, I'm not saying I will never perform a hysterectomy for fibroids, but she was like, that's my last resort. Like, I'm going to try to offer you a myomectomy. I'm going to try to offer you other solutions. Like, was it embolization?
Uterine embolization or something.
Yeah.
Them two words a lot. It's just a lot together. The uterine embola, it's a embolization and stuff. It's a lot.
That's an option. But she had a lot of different options. And she said, I try to present all of those options in the hysterectomy, the very last, because she knows that what it's like for a woman to not have her uterus, you know? So you really just have to do the research. And like I said, I'm not a doctor, but I do have a lot of information that I have gained and knowledge through reading, you know, going to holistic practitioners and all of that. And I just encourage women just to do your research, you know, make all of these decisions. A powerful woman told me this one time, when in her 20s, she had a son, and she said she was diagnosed with fibroids in her early 30s. The doctor told her, just have a hysterectomy. You're not having any more kids. In her late 30s, she meets her dream husband. And she says to me, she said, you know, it was very painful for me to tell him that I had had a hysterectomy. I didn't need to have a hysterectomy. I got talked into having a hysterectomy. And she said, I wanted to have a baby with him. I really did. But she was like, I just didn't think, one, that I would meet this person, two, that it would matter. You know, having a hysterectomy in my early 30s. She's like, all I kept thinking was, great, I don't have a period.
Right.
Know? But this is what I tell people: a period is not supposed to be hell. We've like been conditioned to think that if you have a cycle, you're supposed to go through hell every month, and you're not. Like my cycle is normal, like very short, light, and everything. Women always talk about having a period, and it's like the worst thing they've ever experienced, you know, and that's why they want to get rid of it, because they're just like, this is just normal. That Black women, I hear most times say it's normal for us to bleed a lot. I'm like, it's
not. Let me tell you something. First of all, the female body is supposed to do what the female body does. Uniquely, that's what it's supposed to do. So you are supposed to have a cycle, because that's really, believe it or not, is really a protection. It's really a cleanse. The reason we're bleeding so heavy is because of our lifestyles, toxins, food, all of these things that we're taking in. And I used to have extremely heavy cycles, like to the point where I went through vomiting. I would lose like a day and a half of my life. But guess what they wasn't doing? That part. Cutting. I was tired. I'm serious. Like I started drinking coconut water, all of this stuff. So a period don't owe me nothing. Hear me? A cycle don't owe me nothing. at all. Yeah, so I know. So for people that may be having extremely heavy cycles, I understand it. I get it. But please take care of yourself and look at other options. Hey, Fatima.
Yeah, just look at other options. Like, again, we're not saying don't have a hysterectomy. We're just saying that make sure you get the information you need before you go and jump to do anything. The other thing is, like I said, sometimes they can discover cancer. It's happened to a woman in my family. She went to have surgery for fibroids, and she found out that she had cancer on her ovary. So sometimes it does lead to
Right.
but what I'm saying is don't always let that be the go-to. Meaning, as soon as someone diagnosed you with fibroids, you say, I'm getting hysterectomy. I'm just saying, get a second opinion. And that's with anything. If anybody brings something to you just to automatically take it, that's something that we have to work on, because a lot of times we just take that first diagnosis and say, oh, well, that's what it is. I still just think you should always do your research, get a second diagnosis, find other ways if you can. But, some things cannot be avoided. I completely understand that. And again, I'm not a doctor. I'm just giving advice as a sister to a sister that do your due diligence as we do anything else. When you go to look for shopping, look into stores.
Yeah. How long it's going to take me? What area am I going to? Do they have my outfit? Can you put it on hold? Do you take layaway? Do you take Afterpay? So no, for real, you can put your health on layaway too. They got.
It's the truth.
We can lay away everything now, girl.
Listen, we do our due diligence on getting wigs and doing everything else, hair braiding. We always looking at more than one person. So my whole thing is your health, the same thing. Just do your due diligence, just like you would do anything else. You always go into a liquor store looking for 2 bottles of wine. You're not just looking at one. I'm just saying, I'm just throwing out. We do a lot of different things in other areas that we still need to treat the same when it comes to our health.
Yes. And I just want to point out, so Fatima Lowe Williams is a friend of mine from 6th grade. And Fatima is also like a natural healer. And Fatima, because I'm forgetting the name of your business, she's on the West Coast. She was actually on my show a month or so ago. So Fatima also does the coaching for the lifestyle change and healing and all of that. So she's someone else that you can reach out to get information, and she can do work. So she had a holistic clinic. I actually got to go there. She like a colonic center. I get to get colonized. That ain't even a.
Oh my goodness!
I didn't get a Fatima laughing. But she's done a lot of people, a lot of celebrities and all. But she can also guide you. She can coach you on holistic living when it deals with fibroids and things you may need to do. The other thing people are not aware of, Natasha, hold on. You can have a holistic doctor and a medical doctor. And the holistic doctor is not going to say to you, if they're knowledgeable and for real, come off your medication or whatever. They're going to walk you through, and they're going to integrate with the medical doctor. So if you cannot find a medical doctor that does both, like Natasha was speaking of, you can go to a holistic doctor practitioner and then the medical doctor, and they're going to look at what the medical doctor is saying, and they can translate and see how all of this going to work, what herbs you need, lifestyle, all of that. So it's a lot of options, y'all. Fatima, put your information in the chat, please.
You know why I'm laughing? It's because it's the truth. Like, you can do both. And that's what I was telling somebody. Like, I do both all the time. I have a medical doctor, but I have a holistic practitioner, and I have multiple holistic practitioners.
And I got some people in the village too that's gonna tell you some they're gonna be like, do this, and you gotta do So
surprised. And elders.
Yes.
Reach out to elders too. Like elders, we don't reach out to the older women in our circle and say, what are some of the things you've experienced? What have you been, using, and things like that. So, it's something to just take in consideration. You got a whole network, community, sisterhood, things like that we also need to look at. And I'm glad you said something about colonics, because I do those too.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I haven't had a colonic in years, but yes, a colonic. Tomorrow. I'm actually doing a saltwater cleanse.
Oh, you are.
Saltwater cleanse. Let me tell you something. Saltwater cleanse. If you don't know what the saltwater cleanse, and don't leave your house for about 2 hours after you do it. Okay, get your spirit right. Get your life in order. Okay, you can look that up too. But that's something else because, like Natasha spoke about constipation. A lot of times we just have waste in our bodies, and we need to get rid of it. The body doesn't know what to do. It might be too heavy to break down, so it holds it, and that creates fibroids and a lot of other things. Mm-hmm. So this is an awesome conversation with really great information, and I'm really appreciative that so many people popped in, and even men, like, because they're probably dealing with their women, like, what's wrong with her? And it's a real thing, y'all. It is a real thing. Like, I'm telling you, a day and a half of my life, I would be like, what the? Wow. You know what I'm saying? Yo, for real. I would be like, what? Like, I would like, Razia, my sister had to tell me to stop. I used to schedule my life around my cycle. Like, as a performer, I've been on stages and like had heavy cycles and like, am I going to faint? Am I going, you know what I'm saying? Like, am I so lightheaded? Am I bleeding too heavy? But I know one thing they wasn't doing. Okay.
You know what? You know what? But it's the truth. I run into you. You're like me and many other women. Like I do whatever I have to do so I don't have to go down that path. Because honestly, I'm in childbearing still. Mm-hmm. Nothing has changed.
I might be. I ain't spending 12 in a minute, but I might be a child.
That's what I was saying. So I'm not ready to give up my womb. So, just
miracles happen every day, all day, y'all. So don't get caught up. Mm-hmm. So, God is amazing.
God is amazing. You never know where your life will fall, where things will happen. So I always tell people, like, don't be so quick, because I'll hear people be like, oh, I don't need this anymore. I don't need my cycle anymore. I'm like, you never know what's going to happen. Because I just had a friend who had a baby at 43. And I had another friend that had a baby at 45. So life changes. So, I always just tell people, keep your options open if you can. And that's just, my advice.
Yeah. Also, the thing about it, you have women that get hysterectomies. Here's the thing. Your body is your body. You're a female. So you're still going to go through certain changes. You're still going to go through. I have a friend that had hysterectomy and she's still having hot sweats. I was so surprised. I said, well, the body's still going to do what it's going to do.
Sure.
Still having the hot flashes, the bloating. Like, I know that even with me not having a cycle like that, the body cleanses on its cycle. So when you're not having your cycle, you have a tendency to hold weight. You understand what I'm saying? Because like when my cycle was on, my son was after finished bloating, I was kind of like on flat, a little bit. So the body has to do certain things, and it's to protect you. You're a woman, so it has to do certain things. So don't think, oh, I'm gonna get a hysterectomy. I'm not gonna. No, you may still be going through things, and sometimes women have to take different supplements to balance out their hormones, and that may lead you to something else. Then it also may force you into menopause faster when you get a cycle, and then the people losing their hair. It's a lot of different things. So please, y'all, we have to do our research. I
agree with you. I'm glad you shared that, because a lot of people don't share the after effects of a hysterectomy, and especially when you're at a very young age. And people think, oh, okay, I'm not going to have night sweats. I'm not going to have, issues with, being as moist in certain, things like that.
Yeah, because your body changes. Yes.
The body changes. And so I'm just saying, people don't really think about all of that. One of my clients told me after her hysterectomy, she was like, I started having back issues. Really bad. She was like, I don't even know.
That core. It's your core.
She said she was having very, very much. She had to start going to a chiropractor. So it's a lot of different things. And I don't think we have those open conversations, because back in the day, a lot of times people didn't even talk about that.
The other thing I want to offer, some people were saying in the DC area, the spa is in Virginia. I think it may be two, because I think a new one just opened up. Someone told me about.
There's a couple in Northern Virginia.
Yes.
There's several.
Yeah, but make that a day trip, a day off or something. Take time off from your work. Use your vacation if you got to. Make sure you use your time. But hot yoga, Bikram yoga. I had Kendra on, who has a few hot yoga, Bikram yoga studios throughout the DC area. And it's sister Black owned, and everybody is in there. Go and you can sweat. You can go in there and you can get the sweat on. I'm telling you, Bikram yoga was life-changing for me because I was going through so much at that time. I was going through separation. Two of my close friends had passed away. You know, when they say leave it on the floor, leave it on. I was in that room detoxing, crying. I was doing so much release. If you cannot get to a spa and you can get to Bikram yoga, hot yoga, go there. At first, you may be a little intimidated. You can do it. Push through. We would, Natasha, sometimes we would just be in classes together. And it's a challenge for yourself because it's time for yourself. And guess what? You don't have time to look at nobody else.
You don't.
Focus on you because you're trying to get them poses right.
Yeah, but even if you can't get the poses right, you know what Kendra used to say all the time? Stay in the room.
Stay in the room. Even if you need to lay on your mat with your eyes open, stay in the room. Savasana, stay in the room. Lay on your back. Dead man pose. Stay in the room.
Yeah.
Do what you can do. And even the instructors, they would tell you like they're not their best every day because whatever is going on in your body for that day or at that time, you may not be able to get the pose as good as you did yesterday, or you may be able to do tomorrow. So there's a lot of options. We have swimming. You can go swimming. Go swimming. If you have a membership, like LA Fitness, they have the pool, the hot tub, is it the sauna? Because I prefer steam. There's so many things, y'all, that we actually be passing every day, but we don't realize. But these things will help us. But the main important thing is the diet and our lifestyle. Okay, so Natasha, I miss you.
Thank you. I thank you so much for even, thinking about me and being on. And I appreciate all the women.
You know, you're my people, girl.
And support it. I really appreciate all the women who are here. And if you need anything, always reach out to me. I have, my phone number, my email. I'm always accessible. So, just give me a call or just send me an email.
Yes. Unless you're on sabbatical seance, she will not be available.
Oh, but listen, I tell people though, I send a nice message saying I'm on sabbatical.
Deuces, because she'll be in Costa Rica or Mexico in a heartbeat.
Yes,
and she'll be like, "Oh, I missed your call. I'm not available." Nope. I am doing me, Natasha.
Self-care is the name of it. That's what it is.
Yes. Thank you so much, Natasha, the founder of Fibroid Alternative Healing Network on Facebook. And she also has an information where you can reach her by phone, email. Let's get to our healing, y'all. We truly appreciate all of you for joining us. Thank you, my super duper producer friend, Katanya Lester. Katanya was up late this morning watching Harlem on Prime. She hasn't. She just got turned on to it. And she was watching it late. But one thing Katanya going to do is be where she's supposed to be. She might get there late. She ain't going to open her camera, but she going to be in these streets. So thank you, Katanya. I appreciate all of you. Again, we have a lot of information in the chat for people you can reach out to for your holistic coaching, healing, places you can go, all of that. I am Queen Aishah, Natasha Jackson. Thank you, my friend, my sister. I love and appreciate you. And again, thank you for your yes. You all, thank you, baby. You tell Mama I said, hey, Mama Jackson. And everybody, you have been checking out I Know Dope People with Queen Aishah. And my guest today was Natasha Jackson. Thank you so much for joining us. Remember to like, subscribe, and share on my YouTube channel, Queen Aishah. And if you missed any previous episodes, you better go get this goodness. We are sharing dope information on I Know Dope People. Peace and power. I need my nails done. Don't judge. Peace.